God of War 1 and 2, two iconic games of the PlayStation 2 era. Truly two fantastic masterpieces of gaming. Games that still hold up wonderfully to this very day. With its amazing gameplay and decent graphics for the time, and of course its truly compelling stories throughout the trilogy. And how could you also forget all the puzzles, the amazing combat, as well as the epic jaw-dropping moments with these games. These games are what truly defined a genre of hack and slash gaming, and went on to be one of the best game series of the PS2 era, along with other game series like Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, SingStar. These games are truly amazing, and I love playing them whenever I can. Both of these games filled with epic gameplay elements and content for us fans to enjoy. I love playing both of these games on my PlayStation whenever I can. Oh, wait a second, hang on. I think I left my PlayStation 5 on. There we go. Now that's what we play them on. As awesome God of War 1 and 2 are, Sony and Santa Monica really do like neglecting them and favor the third child. God of War 3 is playable on the PS5 thanks to backwards compatibility from the PS4, that being thanks to the PS4 port of God of War 3 being God of War 3 Remastered, even though there isn't much of a difference with it. But this port came out when it was the 10th anniversary of God of War in 2015 to celebrate the anniversary of the franchise. Now for some reason, we still have to go back to the PS3 in order to play God of War 1 and God of War 2 on the old God of War collection released for the PS3 in November of 2009. I don't know about you, but that's a long time. And we've been through two console generations in that time. And on the current PlayStation console we have, there is no way to play God of War 1 and 2 on the PS5. But SuperCon, what about the PlayStation Plus game streaming? It's got God of War 1 and 2. No! None of that! Shame on you. Unless you have the best internet known to man, then you're gonna get lag in these. And I mean a lot. And no one wants lag in their action games. So playing like this is not gonna work. So my point still stands. We don't have a good way to play these classics. Now, you could bring up the argument in saying that Santa Monica wants to focus on the new era of God of War we're currently in, and move away from these old ones. Though on a side note, why would you want to do that? These games are what made you. They are literally the foundation to what your massive cash cow is now. But back to what I was saying, if they want to move away, then here's a small problem. If they are gonna keep mentioning Kratos' past in the new games, what are those new fans gonna do when they hear about Kratos talking about Calliope and Ragnarok and they never even touched one of the old ones? That's gonna be confusing to new fans. Now that begs the question, how can we get these games playable on modern consoles of today, Con? And what's the answer to this, you're asking? Well, listen up, dear viewer. You read the title of the video and saw the lovely thumbnail. There are two solutions to this, those being remasters or ports. However, I don't think they should be remastered at all. And instead, Santa Monica should make a brand new God of War collection like this one. Hear me out. As old God of War 1 and 2 are, these games still hold up fantastically well to this very day. Gameplay wise, of course, on something like the PS2. Graphics wise, yeah, that goes without saying, but the amazing story and great gameplay makes up for it when replaying on a PS2. Now, as good as the PS2 looks, remember that collection that came out 13 years ago? Well, those not only included ports of God of War 1 and 2 in them, and what also seems to be a code for the God of War 3 E3 demo. Ooh! But this collection fully brought these two games back and in HD. This means higher resolution, better visuals, and 60 frames per second gameplay, while still having that PS2 look to it, but in HD. And these ports are truly amazing, and are honestly the definitive way to play these games. As far as I'm aware, they get my stamp of approval on that. Overall, this collection is epic. While it only just includes the two games, it is perfect. It doesn't add anything unnecessary to the games. It's literally just an up-res port done right. Take note, Sega. Now, what does this have to do with me saying these games should not get remastered? Recently, Extreme Gameplays, also known as Zesty, did a video recently with a number of other God of War creators, and they all got together and made a video on God of War 1 and 2 getting remastered. And as much as I understand where they are coming from with this, and I get the idea of it, and this would be cool, but I gotta admit, I don't think this is a good idea. Here's why. While a remaster of these games would be cool and all, I honestly don't trust a remaster. I'm afraid it will be ruined, and there might be unnecessary changes or something, like things made easier for the gamers of today or something, or just maybe QuickTime events taken out altogether. And don't get me wrong, I would love to see a God of War 1 and 2 brought back with new graphics and on modern consoles. Do you have any idea how sick it would be to play God of War 2 with HD graphics of today? But at the same time, I honestly just think that this collection right here with these ports in them would be just fine alone to satisfy us players. But not just this collection. No, Santa Monica should make an all-new collection for the PS5. Not a re-release of this, a brand new collection of the old God of War games, consisting of God of War 1 and 2, the HD versions obviously, and as well the PSP games too, in their HD versions as well from this collection on the PS3. Give us all these old God of War games except you. And Santa Monica, you really gotta think about this. This would be genius, and this would probably make you a ton of money. Think about it. Having a new collection of the old God of War games would be great for 3 reasons. First of all, it would make all the old fans so happy that they finally get to play these again and not dust off their PS3 just to play some good games again. Also, it would allow the new fans that don't have access to these games the ability to play these iconic games from this franchise. And finally, this would mean that every God of War game besides that will be playable on one console, and you don't have to go back 2 generations and play them. Santa Monica, please do this, not just because this would make you a ton of money, but do this for your fans as well, because we will love you for it. Just you acknowledging your old original games will alone satisfy us. The God of War franchise will be 20 years old in 2 years, and it's been nearly 14 years since we've had a way to access all the old games on a PlayStation console that isn't a terrible streaming option. Even the PSP games are gone too on the PS5, and there are no way to play those. And also God of War Ascension is gone too, but who's really crying in their bed at night about that? And guys, let's be honest here, as cool as it would be to get God of War 1 and 2 remasters, it's just not gonna happen. I've known this for a long time. Not hating on Zeszy's video or anything, but I'm just trying to be real here. And to be honest, a new collection with these ports is really our only hope. Also, it would be great, if not better, because you don't have to worry about anything getting changed for something like a remaster. With the port, they just have to re-release the game and change nothing. And we'd still be getting the same thing that we played years ago and still be having a great time without having to worry of unnecessary changes like a remaster would. So Sony and Santa Monica, please, out of love for your fans, in between the next game, give us a new God of War collection for the PS5 consisting of God of War 1, God of War 2, their HD versions, and the PSP games. If you just give us a collection with those ports, Santa Monica, we will all be so happy and just overall love it. Also, God of War has sold more than Metal Gear, and it's getting a new collection of its successors, so Santa Monica, what's your excuse?